I think there's many things in this. I think a couple of things is that we were very irritated after the game against Swansea over there. And if you saw my Sky interview, was pretty firm and determined, and my adrenaline, never dropped since after that game until today. So I think I'll be pretty tired tonight because we knew that we could play better. We did well, but we also felt us, unfair treated by the red card decision, and we felt, okay, now is the third game in a row that it's not going our way, so we need to do even more. And of course, we prepared with a lot of stuff, and we talked about we're not leaving that pitch without coming to the final. That was the final message yesterday, and before the game, of course, there's all the tactics, but also the message was we need to start faster than we ever started before, and I think they did that.
I mean, obviously 2 goals in the first 15 minutes set up beautifully, and then to get that third goal straight after half time, and it looked like the game was in the bag. But then, of course, they scored with 11, 12 minutes left, so it's up a really nervy finish.
Yeah, of course, it was nervy. I think we should have, 3-0 and, just ease through to the final now, because I think we were on top of the game and potentially should have scored the fourth goal. But of course, when people are chasing, and then we made that mistake we shouldn't make. But after that, I think they were never really, really dangerous. So and that's one thing that again showed that we improved that defensive side of the game. So that was very, very nice.
Just a final one from me. What can you just describe just what your emotions are now? How you're feeling?
Now, of course, I'm extremely pleased and happy, and is a very nice moment. And I'll celebrate it. I think tonight with a glass of red, and because I think we achieved something good going into the final, but we also know that we want to achieve something big. So of course you're not satisfied, and it's very important that we're not like, oh, we went to the final. No. If we go to that final, because we're going there to win it, of course. But I also think it's very important that we actually celebrate to go there, because it's not that easy. Try to ask 2 teams each year who's not going to the final of the championship clubs. So I think that's important to do that tonight. But tomorrow morning, I promise you, we're ready to plan for that final, and we want to win it.
Brilliant. Well done, Thomas.
Thank you.
Thomas, hi. Congratulations. Oh, go ahead.
Go on, Sam. Go on.
Sorry, Thomas. I just wanted to ask very quickly about the incident on the touchline at the end. What was going through your mind at that point, and was that a sign of the nerves you mentioned just before?
Oh, I haven't seen it through in slow motion, but the ball came to me. I took it, and I unfortunately dropped it just behind me. I didn't throw it away, and then I actually stood absolutely still. I didn't move, and then it ran into me. So, and then that's it.
Cool. And we spoke last week after the game against Brentford about momentum and the importance of that. How much do you believe in that, and do you believe your side now has that going into the final?
I think no matter if it's Fulham or Cardiff, that game, I think both teams have a bit of momentum as well. But I think since the Corona, I think we have had a very good season so far, the best ever in the history of Brentford. I know they were in the best league 70 years ago, but in modern time, at least. And after the Corona break, we are actually even better. And then we have two minor setbacks with some decent performance, and the way we rise from that, when people think maybe they can't or whatever, is impressive. I'm proud of the players, and I know we'll go into the final with momentum and massive belief. And of course, we will, leave everything out there in the final as well.
You've got directors on the pitch, the owner on the pitch, people drinking beer in the stands, the fans outside the ground. what does this mean for the club, and how does it sort of feel as an institution right now, not just for you personally?
Now, of course, it feels. I think it's again. It means a lot to me, and I'm very pleased. I'm very happy, and I know I will sleep very well tonight. I also know myself. Tomorrow morning, I will smile, but I'll be so focused on the next task and win that. That is to win that final. But of course, we also the first step to the final is to win the semi-final, and we need to celebrate that. But of course, only for one night.
Thomas, can I just ask quickly, obviously a lot was made of the emotion of this being the final night at Griffin Park. Was that something that for you and your players you tried to embrace or try and kind of stay cool and not think about? And if the former, how much of a role do you think it played?
I think that one of the big things we mentioned, and what I'm very pleased with is that we become better after the experience of Stoke, because we reflected and analyzed it and talked about it. We were better after the experience against Barnsley. We were better after the first leg against Swansea. And we want to be better for the next game. And part of that was the coolness in the decisive moments, which I think we did well, but also being extremely brave. And on top of that, of course, going into this game, I talked about that because we wanted to do everything to make it a magical moment. And my final speech was in the dressing room, because I think that dressing room deserved a final speech there with all the players and all the staff. Let's go out there and leave everything and make it one final magical moment at Griffin Park.
Thank you.
Turn on my microphone.
Anyone else?
Hi, Thomas. Can I just
Can't turn on my
ask you
microphone.
about? So I'm not sure if you can hear me, but if you can, Pontus's reaction at full time. He obviously kind of rushed down the tunnel
Good, okay.
very quickly. Well, the rest of the people celebrating. Have you spoken to him since then? Was it a case of the sort of mistakes with the goal that may be affecting him, or?
No, I think Pontus is just happy going to the final. Of course, he's a very competitive player, and he made a mistake, so he's angry at himself because that potentially could have cost something. But that's it. Pontus has been fantastic for this season. I think he's one of the biggest reasons why we are one of the two best defensive sides in the division, and he's been fantastic. And I know he will lead us out on the pitch at Wembley. And I'm pretty sure that he will also make sure we win that game.
Thomas, congratulations. You are 90 minutes away from that pub crawl around all four pubs on each corner of this ground. It could be a very expensive round, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could. I think I got the question that what are you saying, that I was going on a pub crawl or some are going there or whatever? I just know that
Yes.
if we win that final, I'm looking forward to go to each pub.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thomas, can you talk to us a little bit about the mentality of the team in that last 12 minutes, especially given what happened at Barnsley? And obviously, there would have been a little bit of doubt maybe to go make it 3-2 in aggregate with just 12 minutes left, but they didn't even give up a chance. I mean, was that something they were obviously extremely conscious of?
Yeah, I agree. The mentality of this team is impressive, the way they're growing. Also because it's not like we're having 11, 32 years old players who tried everything. There's a lot of young lads, but of course there's a few experience that help the young lads. But the way they develop to be a top defensive side and wanna, they love to defend as a team is very impressive. But I also think, of course, we knew it was an important game, but we also knew that we needed to defend against West Brom. We're leading 1-0 or Preston. So I think we got a lot of good experience in the back that we can lean back and rely on, and hopefully that can also help us in the final.